With wide arms, Aaron and John Thomas greeted their new neighbors, hoping to build meaningful relationships in their quiet suburban neighborhood. They would soon, however, learn a startling reality about the amiable-looking family next door that would upend the whole basis of their peaceful lives. A few days later, the neighbor's quiet son, Alex, made his introduction, seeking solace in strange circumstances. The Thomas family welcomed him with open arms. Alex soon became a regular guest, bringing joy and laughter into their home. Unaware that he was concealing a sinister secret, Aaron and John were always delighted to welcome him. Days later, Aaron started to wonder why Alex thought their house was better than his own. Even as night fell, his parents did not appear to be concerned about his absence. Alex often seemed hesitant and sad to be asked to depart, so Aaron frequently had to remind him to go home. Aaron observed how Alex's mood lifted when she asked him to assist in making biscuits one evening. His expression brightened with excitement, but beneath it all was a disturbing undertone that would eventually surface. She observed something strange as Aaron approached the neighbor's house. None of the lights were on, giving the impression that the place was unoccupied. She saw Alex open the door and go inside, but no lights came on. Feeling troubled, she confided in John that night. By 7 p.m., the home was in complete darkness. A key was in Alex's possession. "It feels strange," the woman remarked. John assured her that Alex's parents probably worked late and had given him a key, but he was unconcerned. Aaron tried to reassure her, but it didn't make her feel any better. The following morning, Aaron broached the subject with her while Alex assisted her in making biscuits. "Alex, when you returned home yesterday, I observed that your parents weren't there. Is everything okay?" she said, her voice displaying concern. Alex hesitated momentarily in his otherwise upbeat manner. "Well, it looks like they were working late once more. It occurs frequently." He stumbled and avoided making eye contact. Though Aaron felt he was concealing something, he decided to remain vigilant rather than pursue the matter. She became aware of behavioral shifts in Alex over time. He seemed to be carrying something too big for him to bear alone as he grew more aloof and ceased to laugh as often. Aaron was determined to find out, so she confided with John about her worries, and the two of them made the subtle decision to watch him closely. They had no idea that the quiet suburban community they lived in would soon come to a terrifying realization. Aaron noticed that as night fell one evening, she was staring out the kitchen window and her eyes kept going to the strange house next door. In Alex's driveway emerged an enigmatic car, its black outline menacingly standing out against the barely illuminated road. Aaron felt a wave of dread come over her as she watched a strange couple emerge and move toward Alex's front door. There was tension in the air as they knocked, their quiet talk masked by the darkness of the night. At the first sign of trouble, Aaron's hand automatically reached for the phone while her heart raced. She had a terrifying discovery, though. When she peered closer, the guests weren't strangers. They worked in police enforcement. Aaron felt frightened, almost faint. The police were at Alex's house. Why? Her frantic footsteps echoed in the silence as she hurried across the street. Unable to remain still, John trailed closely behind, his expression reflecting her anxiety. Their worst fears were realized when they arrived at Alex's house. The police were taking Alex's parents into custody. John and Aaron watched with dismay as the pair was brought away in handcuffs. Alex stood at the door, silent tears streaming down his face from sheer grief. What might have been the reason behind this? Their quiet neighborhood has always been a haven of friendship and solace. When the house next door remained empty for such a long time, they had wondered who would move in. Aaron, who was well known for her homemade sweets, excitedly created a batch of oatmeal cinnamon delights to greet the new family when they eventually arrived. Though she had observed activity seconds before, when she and John knocked on the door to introduce themselves, nobody responded. After a second try, they heard footsteps and the door slowly opened. A happy woman introduced herself and her husband as Dave and Nancy, and she welcomed Aaron and John. Aaron, who was always happy to see new people, offered them some freshly prepared cookies. "Hello, this is John, my spouse. My name is Aaron," she exclaimed. "We were happy to welcome you to the neighborhood as we live just across the street." The pair grinned back, but instead of welcoming Aaron and John inside, they decided to carry on their chat outside on the porch. Nancy asked, "It seems so peaceful here," with a small laugh. "Is there ever anything amazing that happens?" To Aaron and John's astonishment, A young lad showed up with a tray of coffee as they were all enjoying the cookies. Despite the fact that they hadn't previously disclosed having a child, Nancy identified him as their son, Alex. Aaron grinned broadly. "Hey Alex, this is John, my name is Aaron, how about you come have some cookies with us, we specially created them for you and your family." Nancy spoke before Alex could reply. "Alex has a lot of homework, don't you?" she asked, getting the boy to nod and back away silently. Aaron was uncomfortable with the exchange, but she reassured Alex, saying, "Alex, you're welcome at any time, for you, I'll keep some cookies." He gave a hesitant smile and turned away. Over the next few days, Alex started coming over. There was something strange about him, but he was courteous and always prepared to provide a hand. Alex appeared unaccustomed to commonplace items, such as video games, food, and pastimes most children his age liked. Even after John asked him over for a game night, Aaron noticed something strange in his hesitation to completely interact with his surroundings and couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Alex was helpful and friendly, but his presence always seemed to bring out the worst in others. Aaron began to notice niggling suspicions in his conduct as the weeks went by, which only served to heighten her worries about his true motivations behind closed doors. He seemed anxious, his eyes darting around as if danger was lurking around the corner. Aaron overheard Alex, who was outdoors with him one afternoon, wince at the sound of passing cars and struggle to keep his composure. Aaron could feel the nervousness in his tense visage and trembling hands. Worried, she crouched down to his level. "Hey, Alex, are you okay? Do you appear distressed?" she inquired, her true feelings clearly showing. With tears gathering in his eyes, Alex's false smile sank. "I'm all right, I'm just a little nervous," he stammered, his voice scarcely audible above a whisper. Like her increasing concern, Aaron's heart hurt for his distress. Curious to know what was going on, she kept a careful eye on him, growing more concerned when she noticed bruises showing through his sleeves. After a particularly restless night spent apart from her spouse, Aaron found herself thinking about Alex and his unusual parents. She thought about going to their door at 2 in the morning, but ultimately chose not to. A resounding bang startled her awake as she was about to nod asleep, sending a wave of terror through her body. Even John, who was fast asleep, was startled awake by the sound. "Heard what I just said? Tell me what the sound was." Incredulous, he inquired. "Yes, I caught it," Aaron said, removing his covers. She bolted toward the window and peered through the shadowy neighborhood till she came to the home of Nancy and Dave. She felt sick to her stomach as she noticed Alex standing alone on their doorsteps. Who or what was he to be outside at this strange hour? Another deafening smash resounded before she could inform John. Alex flinched and covered his ears in fear. She spoke with an increasing sense of terror, saying, "Alex is outside," and the noises seemed to be coming from Nancy and Dave's house. John threw on a shirt in a flash since they simply could not abandon the youngster in the wilderness. They hurried downstairs and bolted for the door, terrified they may lose sight of the truth. It seemed like there was mayhem inside as the noises grew louder. As they got closer, Alex ran over as soon as he noticed them. He begged, "Please, would it be possible for me to visit your house?" His eyes welling up with tears. Quickly, Aaron reached out and grabbed his little hand. She wanted to approach his parents about the disturbing noises, but she and John both thought it was too dangerous. With Alex by their side, they went back to their house, intent on questioning him about what had happened. John made tea to warm himself as Aaron sat down next to Alex, braving the cold. "Please explain those startling noises coming from your house, Alex." While observing his nervous tenseness and fidgeting, she inquired. The air was heavy with silence, which betrayed his unwillingness to communicate. "Believe me when I say we're rooting for you." She tried to reassure him that he could tell her anything without fear, but he still wasn't comfortable. John maintained a close eye on Alex as he placed the tea on the table. The latter appeared to withdraw within himself. "What about your parents? We're worried about them. The purpose of our visit was to ensure their safety," as John explained, looking up at John with a glimmer of optimism. Alex appeared to be giving in at this point. "Maybe I can share," he said, clearly having trouble. An ominous voice and a series of forceful knocks on the front door roused me from my slumber. Suddenly, Aaron stood up, still perplexed as to why someone would be at their door at such an ungodly hour. She politely requested that they wait. With the door ajar, she discovered Alex's folks standing outside. "Where's our boy?" his mother shouted, her face contorted with anger. Aren't you the one who took him? I implore you not to be scared." The angry woman ignored Aaron's attempts to explain that they had only just taken him inside from the cold, exclaiming inside the house, "Alex, come out this minute," she yelled out. Aaron fought valiantly to keep his mother from removing him as Alex sprinted out in an instant. "However, we are engrossed in renovating our home, our child cannot be forcibly removed from our care." Before Aaron could answer, Alex's mom yelled. For some reason, Aaron couldn't understand why anyone would be doing home repairs at this ridiculous hour. She attempted to ignore her disturbing thoughts that night and went to sleep, but she couldn't shake the feeling of dread. Every day, she would hear the same knock that would signal Alex's arrival. She wondered if he had any buddies his age because he was so lonely all the time. He would quickly drop his backpack and dash over to their house as soon as the school bus pulled up. Frequently completing his assignments there, Aaron took care to eat plenty, and he wasted no time. Alex, who is only 10 years old, demonstrated remarkable culinary prowess by helping to cook supper before John got home from work. Asking, "Where did you acquire this skill?" she probed more. "I taught myself," he said, averting her eyes. "I usually end myself making dinner because my folks are chronically tardy." Because of what he said, Aaron's heart hurt. Such duties shouldn't have been placed on a child. Concerned about the situation next door, she and John exchanged anxious looks. In an effort to fill in the gaps in Alex's story, she subtly asked him about his family as supper went on. He opened up about how his parents would work late and leave him home alone for extended periods of time. His voice had a subdued sadness to it, an air of resignation that made her shudder. Aaron and John sat in quiet reflection after saying their goodbyes to Alex, unsettled by the sense that something sinister lay beneath the surface of their seemingly normal existence. Aaron and John still had their reservations. Even though Nancy and Dave seemed friendly, why did Alex essentially live with them while being alone the whole time? They swore to investigate Alex and his environment in order to find out what was going on and aid him. But little did they know that their quest would take them on a perilous adventure. The secrecy surrounding their once peaceful area consumed them as the weeks went by. Their mission grew increasingly dangerous as they continued to dig. Realizing their own lives were in danger, they desperately attempted to shield Alex from the atrocities they discovered. Entangled in a life-or-death struggle with formidable forces, they kept an eye on him, but they couldn't find any proof of his home traumas. Aaron was making supper one night when she was startled by a furious knock. Alex was there, with tears falling from his eyes. "Hey, John and Aaron, I could use your assistance. It is too dangerous for me to return there. Beware, for they are deceitful." With a racing heart, Aaron dragged him into their house and gave him a consoling hug. She said, "You're safe here," knowing their problems would not go away. Aaron and John listened in horror as Alex related his experiences, confirming their worst suspicions that his guardians were violent and harsh. Aaron shuddered as she reported the violence next door to law authorities, realizing how urgent the situation was. Before long, officers showed up to rescue Alex from his horrifying situation. Aaron and John felt a wave of relief as he was guided to safety. However, Alex managed to escape and rushed towards them, begging, "Please don't let them take me away, I'd like to stay here with you." Aaron gave him a heartfelt hug and muttered, "You don't have to be afraid anymore, we'll keep you safe." John bent down next to them and put a comforting hand on Alex's shoulder. He promised, "We won't let anyone hurt you again." Despite the fact that they knew it would take time to win back Alex's confidence and facilitate his recuperation, Aaron and John promised in silence to support him. They concentrated on Alex's recovery in the days that followed, setting up expert therapy for his trauma. They listened sympathetically as he gradually opened up about his experiences, assuring him that he wasn't alone and that they would be at his side all the way. The neighborhood was outraged to learn of Nancy and Dave's maltreatment, and they were forced to deal with the fallout from their conduct. Despite the emotional toll it had on them, Aaron and John's bravery in exposing the facts was essential in the pursuit of justice. They were aware that they had made a big progress in guaranteeing justice. Aaron and John were haunted by their past even after justice was served, reminding them of life's fragility and the importance of helping others. As Alex recovered, his humor returned like sunshine after a storm. With their unwavering support, he grew into a bold, resilient child ready for a brighter future. Together, they built a home filled with love, trust, and devotion, though challenges lay ahead. They faced them as a family, working to rebuild their lives and trust. Along the way, they created new memories and gave Alex a routine that nurtured his dreams. Alex's confidence grew daily, and his troubled eyes now shone with hope. His sensitivity to loud noises faded, and the love from friends and neighbors uplifted the Thomas family, united in their commitment to each other. Aaron and John focused on a future full of warmth and joy. Leaving the past behind, Alex thrived. Developing a passion for painting and music, John and Aaron supported him every step, their bond growing stronger. They realized that family isn't just about genetics, but about unconditional love and resilience. Together, they faced life's challenges, emerging stronger. Aaron reflected on the joy Alex brought and the love she shared with John, knowing that every obstacle strengthened their bond. As they stood together at dusk, full of hope, they embraced the journey ahead. Confident in their love and unity to overcome any challenge. After watching the story above, do you have any thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comment section. If you enjoyed our video, please like, subscribe, and share our channel. That's all about today's stories. See you next time.